basically introduces your body to a foreign organism. So a lot of times our body will react to it the wrong way. We have to really think about it. Why are they doing that in every product that they're feeding us?
All them shackles is broken, no holding me down. Had to humble myself, I was getting too proud. Really thought I was lit with a couple of thousand. Money used to be something, I don't care about it now. Ain't the type to be fake, I won't hang with the crowd.
What's good, YouTube? I'm back at y'all with another video. Today's video is something very important. It's a video that I've actually been wanting to do for a long time. I feel like it's something that everybody needs to understand, and I know most people don't, just off the simple fact of how people shop, like what we do when we're buying foods. A lot of people like certain stuff. They don't really look into what it is that they're putting into their body. I was one of those people at one point. Wouldn't read the backs of labels of foods that I bought. I wouldn't read the nutrition facts, the ingredients, and all the little fine print that's written on there. All the time, these companies are letting us know that what we're putting in our bodies is not really good for us. They have to write the stuff on the labels, but it doesn't say how big they have to write it. It doesn't say that they have to put it in the front. They can put it on the back, they can put it on the side, they can put it underneath nutrition labels. And by that time, you're already so fatigued of reading everything else, you're not even going to go to the bottom and look and see in fine print that it says artificial this or contains bioengineered or GMO food ingredients and things that we know we should not be eating. We know we shouldn't be eating GMO. We know we shouldn't be eating bioengineered food ingredients, which is just genetically modified. So it's the same thing as GMO. We know we shouldn't be eating artificial colors and artificial sweeteners and things like that. But these are things that we do because of the simple fact that we don't pay attention to labels. Most people aren't smart consumers. I wasn't a smart consumer at one point. I would just go buy stuff that I like because it tastes good. And I never looked at what I was really putting in my body. So I just want to kind of show you guys a few popular cereals and snacks. And this is with basically every cereal or snack that you buy off the shelf. They all contain the same stuff for the most part, with the bioengineered food ingredients and artificial colors and flavors and things of that nature. So I'm just going to talk about a few of these right now and just give you guys a breakdown so we can get a better understanding of why I don't eat these processed snacks and these packaged snacks and cereals, and why I wouldn't recommend anybody else to as well. So you might be wondering, what is a bioengineered food ingredient, or what is a genetically modified food ingredient? It's basically them changing the DNA of a naturally occurring ingredient. Usually corn, can be different foods, but corn is one of the heaviest GMO foods in the world. So that's another reason why I don't consume corn either, because most corn is GMO. But what this does in your body is it basically introduces your body to a foreign organism, something that is not naturally occurring. So a lot of times our body will react to it the wrong way. And what this just does is this leads to other health issues. And you know, the FDA that pass these foods as being okay and safe for us to consume are going to say it's good, it's fine, it's not going to do anything to you, but all they care about is money. So what I'm here to tell you guys today is that when you introduce your body to these foreign substances and these organisms, our body does not know what to do with it, because if it was meant for us to eat, it would have been like that naturally. God put food on the earth the way it was put for us to consume it in the manner that it was made to consume, not for man to go into a lab and move around the DNA and the molecular structure of foods to be able to produce it in a different way or mass produce it or whatever the case may be. That wasn't his intention. God didn't intend for us to go in a lab and change his creation and turn it into something else. So we have to really think, what will happen if you change the natural way that something was created? It goes wrong. I know we've all watched movies where they decided they were going to change something from how it originally was. It went wrong. So we have to really think about it. Why are they doing that in every product that they're feeding us? Why? And then we wonder why so many people have health conditions and so many people are becoming obese and getting diabetes, developing cancer, which that's the main thing that most of these causes. They all usually lead to cancer. Almost all of these chronic illnesses will lead to cancer, but eating these foods and these snacks or things that we consider to be food usually down the line lead to cancer, sometimes earlier in other people. You have people that's in their 20s and their teens, children that are developing cancer because of the overconsumption of things like this. And I'm going to show you guys in a second that on the back of all of these labels, it says contains bioengineered food ingredients. And just besides that, all of the other ingredients that are in these snacks and these cereals that we should not be consuming. Nothing that's bioengineered, nothing that's genetically. Why did it have to be modified? Why couldn't it be given to us the way that it was originally created? Why couldn't it be given to us the way that it grew originally out of the ground? Why did it have to be genetically modified? Why? We have to start asking these questions. We have to start being smart consumers. We have to start reading the backs of labels of things that we want to purchase. And we have to just understand that 9 times out of 10, if something's in a package like this, it's not good for us. We should be eating whole foods, things that grow out the ground, we pick and eat. Obviously, we might not be picking them if we can't grow them, but we go to a market, we get whole foods. That's one ingredient. If you go get a potato is a potato. If you go get an apple is an apple. There isn't 10 grams of salt, or you know what I'm saying? Like, it isn't all that other stuff listed on the back. Oh, saturated fat and cholesterol. What's in it is in it. You feel what I'm saying? If it's a fruit, sugar. So you know what you're getting from the things that you're eating. With these, they have to put a whole list because it's just a combination of so many different ingredients. They're throwing in oil, they're throwing in corn syrup, they're throwing in salt, they're throwing in different dairy products. You know what I'm saying? They're throwing in artificial colors like red 40 and blue 1 and yellow 4. And that's another topic, but we know, I think I've spoke on it, but those artificial colors are another factor that can lead to cancer, and they put that in many of your colored snacks that people like to consume, from fruit snacks. They're putting it even in some juices. They're putting it in jello and all different types of snacks that have like color. So most red colored snacks and sweets that we consume have those artificial colors in them. Why do they have to make stuff with artificial color? What is artificial? Artificial is not real. It's fake. It was created. It's man-made. Nothing that's man-made should be going in our body. If God wanted something man-made to be going in our body, he wouldn't have created anything out of the ground. We would have had to figure it out ourselves. We were given what we needed, and man decided to take it into their own hands to go and do more than what was needed to be done. I'm sorry, but I don't put my trust, I don't put my faith in no man. You know what I'm saying? No other man, because we're all the same. We're all equal at the end of the day. So I can't trust you any more than I can trust this person to make sure that what you're doing for me is beneficial to my life. The only person that I could put my faith in is God at the end of the day. So I don't trust any of this stuff. The FDA and CDC and all these different people gonna say that, oh no, it doesn't do anything to you. You're gonna be fine. It's safe to consume. No, we have to start being discerning and thinking for ourselves. Just because these people are labeled as professionals and labeled as experts and scientists doesn't mean that they have the people's best interest at heart. And a lot of times people are being guided by their own studies and their own information, and they're being misled by, like, I know, like, I'm getting into it, but the enemy misleads people. A lot of times when people feel like they're so intelligent and so smart, they open up their mind to another side of life that we don't pay much attention to, and that's the spiritual side. The devil will tempt you to feel like you're above God, and that they're just above the true creator. They feel like they are like a god in a way. Like they feel like what they're doing is godlike because they're able to go in a lab and create something and switch around DNA. So this is why I don't put my trust in the things that they say is okay. I do my own research and look into stuff myself. And it's just like, we have to really, it's just common sense. Like, why does something like this have so much sugar in it? And then we look at the daily value of sugar, and then we look at how much sugar is in one serving of a box of a bowl of cereal like this, and it's just way too much. And then it's added sugar. It's not naturally occurring sugar. It's cane sugar and white sugar, and you know what I'm saying? It's not natural. And we know what happens when you have too much sugar in your body, and what your body does to process an artificial sugar. It stores it because it doesn't know what to do with it. And where does the body store these sugars and stuff? It stores it into fat. And the more you eat, the more accumulation of fat you start to develop in your body, because it starts to become chunks and chunks inside of your body. And now you have diabetes, and now you're overweight, or now you're obese. And we wonder why. It's things like this that we're consuming every morning. The first thing we wake up, we don't even give our bodies a second to continue to detox itself and fast. The first thing we do when we wake up, oh, let me go grab a bowl of cereal. Oh, let me go make some pancakes. Let me go make some sausages and eggs and bacon and grits and biscuits and waffles and French toast. And the list goes on and on. Like, we don't give ourselves an opportunity to even clean ourselves out, because we're always putting stuff inside of our body. And then the things that we're putting in our body aren't benefiting it. There's no real nutritional value. Yeah, on these cereals, they'll try to list that it has vitamin B, D, calcium, iron, you know what I'm saying, folic acid, all this different stuff in it, potassium. And no, it's not naturally occurring. And these things are all made from genetically modified ingredients. So we can't be getting the right amount or the highest quality amount of these micronutrients. But I'm going to show you guys the backs of these labels, because I've been ranting. I know y'all probably like, oh, he's going off on the rant again. I'm going to show you guys the backs of every single one of these labels right now, and just let you guys see why we have to be careful, and why having different foods like this in your pantry is just not healthy. Most of these foods multiple have multiple ingredients. And look what it says right there, and they put it in bold letters for you: contains bioengineered food ingredients. Just look at all these ingredients. Corn, as I said, #1 GMO. That's why this is bioengineered, because that corn inside there, bioengineered. Whole grain, wheat, sugar, whole grain, rolled oats, rice, canola, soybean oil, terrible for you. Wheat flour, malted barley, flour, more corn syrup, molasses, honey, caramel color, natural and artificial flavor, annatto extract, BHT added to preserve freshness. I want you guys to look up what BHT is. I want y'all to look up what BHT is right now, because I've also did some research on BHT also, and sad to say that that is also another thing that can lead to cancer. And they'll try to say that it's not, but if you go do research online, you'll see many things that come up. Speaking of BHT, they like to put these chemicals that are put to preserve freshness to prolong shelf life, so that they can sell more of their product to make more money. And these are foreign to the body. They're not meant to go inside of the body. They're chemicals that they're making in the lab. They're spraying on these foods and putting them inside of the foods, or the so-called foods. And when it goes in the body, your body reacts to it the wrong way, tries to defend itself from these foreign objects that are being put into your body. But because you're consuming it on a constant basis, you're constantly causing your body to have to fight and fight and fight. And all this is doing is just making your lymphatic system get backed up, which is your waste system of your body, because you're not flushing it out, because you're not eating the things you should be eating. You're not detoxing, you're not fasting. And then it's making your immune system, which is just your defense system, your red blood cells, white blood cells, etc., that's supposed to help keep your blood clean and flush out the rest of your body, is making that weak as well. It's killing most of your cells in your body. And because like your cells reproduce, but because you're consuming this at such a fast rate, it's weakening your body. And then when your body is weakened like that, it exposes you to other sicknesses. So a lot of times eating this is not necessarily what's making you contract serious health issues. It's the fact that you're exposing your body and weakening your body's immune system and backing up your lymphatic system. When you do those two things, now you're exposing yourself to these chronic issues. And most of these diseases are just your body reacting to all the damage that is being done. And it's your body's way of trying to find a way around it fix the problem. But because you're not giving it what it needs to fix the problem, you're actually just feeding it more of the problem. That's when the chronic health issues come into play. So we have to start to understand that this is not it. Not good. And then some labels they won't have it in bold letters. Like on these frosted flakes, I used to love frosted flakes. I could eat these dry, straight out of a Ziploc bag. I could eat these in a bowl with some milk. I trust me, because I'm not here being hypocritical. I'm not here being like judging. I used to eat this. I used to eat honey bunches of oats. When I was younger, I used to eat Apple Jacks. Cheez Its, I was a Cheez It fiend. You know what I'm saying? I would eat goldfish and I used to eat Ritz. I don't eat none of this. But anymore. But what I'm saying is some of them they won't even put the contains bioengineered food ingredients in bold letters. It'll be small font on the bottom. Let me show you. See that right there? It's in small font on the bottom. It lets you know it though. Right here. Contains bioengineered food ingredients. It lets you know. They're letting you know. And it's on all of these. If you guys want to see all of them, I will show all of them. But it's letting you know. You feel what I'm saying? They're letting you know. And then we also have to understand that most of these are made by the same companies, anyways. So they're all in cahoots. They're all working together to produce these stuff. They know that the things that they're putting in are one, addictive. Two, they give you a certain sensation, whether it's a crunch, because everything is mental and neurological. So when you eat chips, that crunch that it gives you makes you want to eat more of it. So they test this stuff in the lab, like, okay, how can we get this to have the right crunch? They know that people love salt. So they're like, okay, how can we get this to have that perfect salty flavor? You know, people like sweets and sugar. So they're like, how can we give this that perfect sweet taste that people are going to continuously crave? And these are the things that they're testing. They're literally performing labs and testing this on animals. They have people that they test that they pay to do these labs and these tests, and they're seeing how different living things, so animals, and they're seeing how people react to their new concoctions in the labs. And then once it is perfect in their eyes, they push it out onto the shelves. And that's what they're doing. So we're all basically test dummies, and we're just making these people wealthy while they're killing us off. Simplest, that's the simplest way I could put it. We're making them wealthy while they're killing us off. And they're keeping our mind dumbed down, and they're literally keeping us in a box. These things give you brain fog, so it makes it harder for you to think. And you need to think to do anything. You need to think to produce what it is that you want, because we all have dreams, we all have desires. But one, some people's dreams and desires get shut down and knocked down by society because they tell you to stop dreaming. And then two, if you can't think, how can you even pursue your dreams or desires if you can't even get yourself to focus right or put some time and attention to what it is that you need to get done? So if you're always consuming stuff like this, you're gonna 9 times out of 10 you're gonna have brain fog. It's gonna be hard for you to think. You're gonna gain weight, maybe. If you don't, you're gonna have low energy. It can mess with your self-esteem because you might start developing acne, different things. So it's a plethora of things that this stuff can lead to, and we have to understand that. I don't want to go overboard or like drag this video out. I feel like what's understood doesn't need to be explained. I've said enough. The most you can do now is go and do some real research and see what it is that needs to be done. I'm going to show you guys the backs of all of these labels just so you understand that I'm not sitting here just saying this. It says it on every one of these labels. What does that say on the bottom, y'all? Contains a bioengineered food ingredient. Oh, what's inside this one? Applejack's wildin'. Oh man. Why does it have to say natural flavor? What is a natural flavor? Have you ever asked that? Go look up a cochineal bug and see what a cochineal bug is and see what they use that for. It's like a roach. Yellow 6. Hmm. Yellow 5. Hmm. Red 40. Blue 1. And then BHT for freshness. What is BHT? As I said, y'all, go look that up. Hydrogenated coconut. Why did they have to do that? Why couldn't they have just put some fresh coconut in there? Go look up what hydrogenated coconut is. Like, all of these things are bad for us. That corn, they throw corn in everything. You know why? Number one GMO ingredient. They just make an abundance of it because they genetically modify it in the lab. But look that up, red 40, cancer causing. Oh man, it's scary, y'all. It's a scary world. It's a scary world. I really want you to understand that. It's a scary world for real. Oh man, what does that say? Contains bioengineered food ingredients. Oh my. Oh my. And then you gotta think about these cheese products, how much of that processed dairy that they put in, all these different cheese and milk cultures that they're putting in it. It's outrageous. Oh my, what's that right there? Very tiny print. Contains a bioengineered food ingredient. Oh brother. It's outrageous, y'all. Look at how many different, and this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. It's in every single one that you eat. Okay, Ritz was bold with it. They put that straight in bold letters. I don't know if I got a point for y'all, but contains a bioengineered food ingredient. Listen, man. Oh, can't forget about their favorite sweetener, high fructose corn syrup. Most detrimental sugar that you could put in your body. If you want to develop diabetes, if you want to start developing cancer, go get you some high fructose corn syrup. But that's really it for this video, y'all. I wanted to make this brief. I'm pretty sure it wasn't brief. I don't know how long I've been recording for, but this is it. This is this is what we're consuming. This is what they're feeding us, and this is what most people's breakfasts and snacks consist of on a daily basis. We're putting it in our bodies every day in and day out, from sun up to sundown. Sometimes late night, midnight snacks. You feel what I'm saying? Like, this is what we're consuming. So you have to think about how much stress you're putting your body under. And then we're not giving our bodies the essential nutrients it needs because we're not getting in the vitamins and the minerals we need the right way from fruits and vegetables and the herbs and things that were made from the earth to give us the nutrients. But this is why also not understanding the word of God, the Bible, studying it and putting it into perspective and applying it to your life is so detrimental, because that alone will just open your eyes to a lot of stuff that's wrong in the world. And it'll make you have a different perspective and really look at things in a different manner. If you don't, it's kind of just like the blind leading the blind, but the difference is they're not really blind. They have an agenda. They know what they're doing. But majority of people are blind. They're just following along with the propaganda and the media and what's being pushed out in front of their eyes. And you're just being conditioned and programmed to think a certain way, to act a certain way, and to live a certain way. I don't want that for anybody that's tuned in. I don't want that for anybody at all. I want everybody to be self-sufficient. I want everybody to think for themselves. I want everybody to live a healthy lifestyle. And it's hard when you have this being pushed out, when these are the number one things being bought in the grocery store. When people are walking in and the first aisle they're walking to is the snack aisle and the cereal aisle, and they're not even going to the produce aisle to get some fresh fruits and vegetables. And that's another topic to talk about, even in most of these supermarkets with the fruits and vegetables and what they're doing to those now. So it's hard, y'all. It's hard, but there's ways around it. It's just putting in the effort. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm gonna get into another video on how you can make sure that you get the right fruits and vegetables and do grocery shopping the right way in another video. But as always, y'all, I really appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you made it to the end, you did yourself a good thing, because this will open your eyes. You know what I'm saying? And as I said, don't just take my word for it. If you're skeptical, if you're questioning what I'm saying, even if you're not questioning what I'm saying and you believe it and it resonated with you, go do your research on it yourself. Find out the information for yourself and just continue to elevate your mind, because what you don't know is what you don't know. A lot of people probably have never looked at the back of one of these labels. I never used to read the backs of labels. I didn't read the ingredients. I didn't read the daily nutrition facts on it or anything like that. Stay tuned for my next video that I'm gonna be dropping though. It's gonna be a video on Snapple Apple. This used to be one of my favorite drinks. I used to drink it a lot in high school. I always wonder why it was so red because apple juice isn't red. That alone tells you a lot. But I'm just gonna talk about how much sugar is in just a regular 16-ounce bottle compared to the daily value of sugar that we're supposed to be consuming every day, and just go a little bit into detail of what that can lead to and why so many people wonder why they have low energy, are gaining weight, and aren't seeing any progress in the gym. As always, y'all, it's love. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Turn that notification bell on for another video. We're aiming to be dropping every Monday, Thursday, and Friday, I believe. I'm going to make sure and check, but I'm definitely aiming for every Monday and every Friday. So stay tuned for Mondays and Fridays. If I miss that day somehow, the next day I'm going to make sure I get that video up. So just stay patient, stay in tune, and subscribe, y'all. Peace.